here we go. So we got Vincent Ambrosio. Ambrosia. Not sure how to say his last name properly, but it doesn't matter. And this guy, of all the predators Chris has ever caught on Hansen VS Predator, TCAP, Takedown, Vincent is easily my favorite. I love his interrogation. His chatlog is disgusting, yet he also proves to be utterly pathetic in that chatlog to someone who he thought was a 12-year-old. So he's just got some issues that I find quite funny in this context, anyways.
Come on in.
Look at that dapper young man. He's such a dapper young man, the way he straddles in like that. And also, he thought he looked good. He put that on. Was like, yeah, this is my violating a child fit. It's oh god, it's such a bad fit.
You found the house okay?
You're Jenna?
Yeah.
You look different than the pictures.
People always say that. I don't know why.
Look at the way he.
House okay?
Look at his feet when he walks.
Yeah.
You look different than the pictures.
People always say
Those
that.
shoes. He finds those shoes so uncomfortable, yet he can't help but wear them because he thinks they look good. What a life this man has.
Do you want a cupcake? I like your hat.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, alright, sorry.
We have all day. Sorry, I'm really nervous.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
The jeans up above his waist they look to be above his belly button. Now, I'm a bit of a bigger man. All right, I'm quite fat myself. Fat guy, we shouldn't wear our jeans or any pants like that. Because look at the fupa that it enunciates. It's such a horrible fit. He's got, looks like his keys hanging down from one of those retractable key holders that people put on their belt. I only see like blue collar guys do that just because how often they have to be in and out of their truck. But Vincent, I don't know what car he drove. I don't remember. I know on his Instagram he posted a picture of him with a Ford. I don't know what he had when he showed up at the Sting today. I wish they showed him driving up. God, what a good video that would have been. This guy getting out of his car. I wish we got that.
I hate the cold.
I know. I like forget how cold it gets every winter and then it hits and...
I'm moving south.
Where to?
I want to go towards like Texas, the desert.
Really? I've never been.
Me neither. But
So
I like the
that
warmth.
explains the cowboy hat.
Yeah, I like the warmth.
Yeah.
It gets too cold up here for me.
I don't know. I
Mom
kinda-
wants to go to the beach.
So you're not a Four Seasons person?
Not really.
No.
I don't. I want to try Alaska. Me and my friend want to go try to live up there.
I heard it's beautiful up there.
Yeah, he likes the outdoorsy stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Would you make these?
No. I'm not that good.
I like to bake.
Yeah?
There's an iPod. So, Vincent had an iPod and a flip phone. And I don't know what he's checking on there. That looks like he has a message open. But obviously iPods can't text, I don't think. I've never had an iPhone or any Apple products. But I just found it so weird that he had both an iPod and a flip phone. And instead of just getting like an iPhone. I don't know. It's just such a he's a weird guy.
My heart's racing.
Mine is too. Do you want a water or anything?
No, I'm okay. Yeah, give me a cup of water.
I have bottles.
That's fine.
So what do you want to do? You want to just hang out here?
Yeah, you got a TV?
Mm-hmm.
Sit and watch TV?
Sure.
Now, another thing, God, Vincent just baffles me. Look at the. I know Nelly here is supposed to be playing a 12-year-old, but does Vincent really think that someone who looks like Nelly over here would be like, I don't know, like looking at Vincent and be like, yeah, this is the guy I want to like have my first time with. This hunk of excellence.
Do you want to like watch a movie or
Yeah,
TV?
movies?
Mm-hmm.
What movies you got?
I mean, we can just get something on Netflix.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where's the TV?
It's in the other room. Here, you just hang out here for a sec. I'm gonna grab something.
Hey,
You cut it off wrong. But Nellie did such a good job with all these people that walked in for HVP. If she had more operations or just people showing up, she would be the best decoy we've ever had. Absolutely. But she only had like 6 people. So, she doesn't have the biggest sample size. But she was just, on her way to be number 1. But she just doesn't have the sample.
Max, how you doing?
How you doing?
Why don't you come over here and have a seat at the store, please?
Yeah.
And Chris walking in with the "Hey Tex, how you doing?" Dude, he 100% was behind that doorway with the clipboard, hands held down low, clipboard in hand, eyes closed, head down, thinking of bangers. And he came up with the "Hey Tex." It's one of his best entrances.
How to figure what? No. We're right over here, please. Okay.
God, what a stride. His stride was just putting the cowboy hat back on. Anyways, we'll see in a second how he gets on this stool here. And I was watching a video with Joey's TCAP and Hansen, and Joey mentioned who gets on stools like this, and they're talking about like how it looks like he's like getting on a horse, because like like the Western cowboy hat thing, all that, and it's just how fat people got to get on stools, man. We gotta throw our legs up and over. Well, just watch how he throws his leg over.
What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are
I
you?
knew this was gonna happen.
You knew what was going to happen.
Somebody was gonna show up here.
Somebody was going to show up here.
It's alright. You know what? I have nothing to live for anyway.
Well, what do you mean you?
Life's a mess.
Why is it a mess?
I failed high school. I have no motivation to finish it. None of the pills about work.
What do you do for a living?
I don't have a job. I'm a fuck up.
Look, I can understand how tough that is on you. But why does that make it okay?
I wasn't gonna do anything.
Now, I don't have a job. I'm a bum. I'm unemployed. Yet I'm also not talking to children. It's not that difficult, Vincent. Like, he's blaming stuff on, like, oh, I have nothing to live for. I'm unemployed. You got free time, brother. You're going down to... He was told his parents he's going to go see a NASCAR race in Dover, Delaware. And it's like, one, you can afford to drive down there. I don't know how far that was from his house, but, that could be, 50, 60 bucks in gas. And, how much were the tickets? And he's going with a friend. That's awesome. Dude, you know how cool it is? Like, going, like, you and your buddy driving hours away to go see a race or just go do something. Like, that's absolutely something, man. And you're even talking about how, like, you and your friends want to try Alaska. I don't know what that means. But, go up there, spend a couple of weeks. There's hunting camps where you can rent out for a season. And it's like, that's something to look forward to. But no, you use this as an excuse to hit on children.
But that's not what
She
you
said
said.
I know. I want to be a cop. I wasn't gonna do anything. I just want
You want to be a cop.
to have a friend.
And you just mentioned there, he doesn't have a friend. Yes, you do. I know he just mentioned how he doesn't have a friend. He's going down Dover, Delaware. So he's got that. And he did mention in his chat that one of his friends passed away. So I'm sure that was weighing on him here. I've never seen anyone else mention that. I don't even know if that's a real friend. But somewhere in his chat he did mention that his friend passed away and how he needs someone. So that can be a heavy weight on your shoulders. But at the same time, still, reached out to a 12-year-old, brother.
Well, then why don't you go join the police academy or...
I'm fat. I can't do anything.
Look, I had a father who was overweight. I get it. It's tough.
Stupid.
But still, that doesn't make it okay. Thank you. Make it okay to conduct yourself this way on social chat sites and talk to a girl who's 12 years old.
Also, I know I've mentioned already, and Chris just mentioned it. 12 years old. That's one of the youngest decoys in any Hansen investigation. Normally they're like 13 or 14, but 12 is young. And Vincent stole win for that. His chat is vile, disgusting. Numerous times he relies on the decoy to act as, the adult in the conversation. He routinely mentions, how he doesn't want to be alive, how he wants to violate this 12-year-old. And he thinks it's 12-year-old. Really, it was Lori from Tetrad Core and some other lady that Hansen just did a interview with on his podcast. But his chat, I'll get some excerpts from it, and we'll read those, but they are vile.
What grade are you in? 7. Cool, could I see a pic of you? You like older guys. You said all this, right?
Yeah.
I meant a naughty pic. You send a picture of yourself.
I know, don't remind me.
I'm not that big, but I can fit inside you.
This is why he's my favorite. That line from Chris, I'm not that big, I could fit inside of you, is such a line. Waterboarded at Guantanamo Bay could not get that out of me. Jumper cables hooked up to me while ripping my fingernails off would not get that out of me. There is nothing on this planet that could get another man to say that to someone willingly. But he did, which is vile. He said that to what he imagined was a 12-year-old, which, disgusting. But it's just such a... was that meant to be like comforting to the girl? Like, oh, no, don't worry, I'll fit. Like, what? It's vile.
Have you ever played with yourself? I mean, you see how this looks. How did you get to this place?
Which place? This is just me.
Look, everybody's got personal problems, right? But that doesn't mean it's okay to do this. You get that, right?
Yeah. Such an idiot.
How far did you drive today?
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
So he drove an hour and a half. Let's assume, on the highway. That's about, 70, 80 miles, assume, getting to the highway and all that. That's like 20, 30 bucks in gas, bro. And I know you stopped and got something to eat. I know you. I know us fat guys, alright? You stopped at a gas station to fill up on gas. Like, let me go and grab a Red Bull and a bag of chips, alright? We think alike, at least in that regards, when it comes to sustenance, not children.
And how many other times have you done this?
Never.
Well, that's hard for me to believe, Vincent.
She said she wanted a friend. I'm stupid.
But there's no friends 19? 20?
I have one friend. He's always working. Nobody else. Look at where I dress and stuff. Everybody thinks I'm weird.
Yes. One, you dress weird. Dress like a fucking loser. Alright? Like, you gotta be like 6'6", muscular, with like a mustache to pull off a fit like that, what you're wearing. Not, 280 pounds, goofy looking mob boss wannabe with a Robinson's button up. It's just he's such an interesting character that immediately tries to blame everything but himself here.
Well, the only weird thing I see is that you're trying to hook up with a 12-year-old girl named Jenna Claire.
And he did mention that he wasn't talking to any other girls. Later on in his interrogation, he does mention how he was talking to another decoy. As far as I know, that chat has never been released. but he said the decoy just wanted a friend. Well, the other supposed 12, 13-year-old wanted a friend when she had cancer, so he was being like a friend to her. Which, Vincent, I don't know if you should be really the one people rely on for, support, given, you can't support yourself. I don't even know how your knees support you. And there was Hannah. Now, Hannah was another girl he was talking to on Kick, who, as far as we know, was either him pretending to be another girl, or some people from his school or something, or another catfish that were playing along with him in an inappropriate way. There's been really no proof or evidence on who this Hannah person really was, and as far as we know, it was Vincent. So the guy is even weirder.
I mean, have you tried to get some help?
With this stuff?
Yeah.
No, I never told anybody anything.
How often do you go on the internet
To do that, but
to do this stuff?
Not with girls, not little girls.
Well, what made you do it this time?
When he said that "not girls" part, that is true. Vincent lost his virginity on his grandfather's bed to another man. Now, I'm not saying having sex with another man, like man on man, intercourse is wrong or anything. I'm saying that as in he was so desperate to not have the title of virgin that he had sex with another man on his grandfather's bed. Which, another thing, you could waterboard me in Guantanamo Bay. You could hook me up to jumper cables and rip my fingernails and toenails off. You would not get anything like that out of me. And he admitted to it willingly to the interrogator, who was easily one of the best interrogators I've ever seen on HVP or TCAP or anything. I don't remember her name, but she was a very good interrogator.
I mean, just help me to understand what's going on in your mind.
I don't know, that's the problem.
Well, you gotta know, Vincent. You gotta understand what's going on in your mind.
I don't know, that's the problem.
Now we can see here, there's no tears running down his cheek. There's nothing there. But you can see his eyelids are a little watery. His eyes, yeah, I think that's more just light reflecting. But there's no tears. He 100%, these are crocodile tears. It's just all there is to it. He's not crying. He's 100% trying to manipulate Chris into believing that he is a weaker individual by crying. And Chris would go on to not release this footage for a while, but then he later ended up releasing it. So it did kind of work for a little bit. But it's, just this kid is pathetic. And he was 18, 19 when this thing happened. I think he's like 27 now, 26, 27. I don't know how old he is. But he recently just got rearrested for, well, what do you know? The same shit he got arrested here for. I'll pull up some of his stuff later. But he doesn't change. He thought he'd get away with this. He kind of got away with it for a little bit. And his life went downhill, and he's doing the same shit again.
Well, you gotta know, Vincent. You're an adult now. You get this as a felony, right? What are you gonna do about this situation? I mean, you gotta pull it together.
And as he would go on, he never pulled it together. He violated his probation. Once beforehand, his probation officer stopped by and found alcohol and a laptop. They might have found a phone as well, but alcohol and a laptop that Vincent did not disclose to his probation officer. So they got him for that. And then later on, just a couple of months ago, he got arrested and he's held in a facility in whatever state he's in, Connecticut, I believe. And, he's back in prison. He didn't change. And this was only a couple months ago. So he doesn't change at all. He never did. And he never will.
Where'd you go to school?
Ketchum.
Where?
Ketchum and Wappingers.
Ketchum and Wappingers Falls.
Yeah.
Did you finish?
I failed English, participation in government, economics, I'm supposed to be doing them online. I don't have any motivation to do anything.
Well, what happened to your motivation?
Just this depression is so crippling.
Did you go see?
And he blames depression. Now, depression is this whole, very damaging state one can be in. But you're still an adult. You still know right from wrong. And it's no excuse to behave the way he behaved in that chat log. We'll go over the chat log a little bit later. But it's vile. And he wasn't depressed when he was talking about a lot of the things in there. He was feeling a different type of emotion.
Somebody a doctor?
I'm seeing it. What is he? I think he's like a nurse practitioner, kind of. He prescribes my medicine. I'm not a big talker about my feelings.
He's not a big talker about his feelings. Yes, he is. He sat here and unpromptedly just started talking about how shit his life is to Chris Hansen. He spent a couple of days talking with the decoy on Kick about how horrible his life is. Like, he's a big talker about his feelings. He's posted stuff on the Whisper app about, how he's feeling down. He talks about his feelings, but he's lying again.
So he talks to me about it. When I go, he prolongs the appointment for me.
So you've been diagnosed with depression?
Bipolar depression.
Bipolar. It's a tough disease. What do you take for it?
I'm on the Lexapro, gabapentin, and Adderall. It's supposed to give me energy to want to do things, but I had fucked that up. I didn't realize what it...
I mean, you don't seem like a dumb guy, Vincent.
He gave me 10 milligram tablets to start with 10 twice a day. He says that doesn't work. Bump it up a dose to 2 10s, so 20 twice a day. I bumped it up to 30. He refilled the prescription. I didn't realize he refilled the prescription. That's why I said in the last message before I came, I have aches and stuff. Is because I didn't realize when he refilled it, he bumped it up to 30 tablets. So I could take just one tablet in the morning and one at 12 o'clock noon. I was taking 330, so I was taking 180 a day.
So he sits here and rambles about, his medication, which is just such an old person thing to do. But, and he acts, and he's treating it like almost like it's an excuse. Like, oh, I was taking a bunch of Adderall, but it wasn't doing anything for me. Yeah, probably because you're on borderline overdosing it, and your body is probably going fucking haywire. And he mentioned 2 other antidepressants that he's on, and he's on Adderall. And he's taking a lot of it. So, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe medicine. But it seems like, maybe time for some lifestyle changes, Vincent. Stop at McDaniel's a little bit less.
That's a lot of Adderall. What did that do to you?
I was so antsy. I was angry at my dad. I was angry at everybody. I picked my fingernails to nothing. I've had withdrawal now for the last couple of days because he can't refill it because it's not October, and now the fucking insurance company doesn't want to refill 30 twice a day extended release because they say it's too high of a dose. But I'm fat, so
it's very much too high of a dose. Like you clearly went through it way too quick. Which it's known if you go through, your Adderall prescription a lot quicker than you should, they catch on to that. They're like, huh, I gave this guy X amount of Adderall to last for, a month. He's done in half that time. Where is it going? It's going down his gullet.
The 30 didn't bother me.
Did you ever try to diet?
Here comes Chris. You ever try not being fat? It's such a good line. But Vincent, Vinny, you're complaining how you're fat. You can't do anything. You're fat. The Adderall doesn't help you. You can't do anything. You can't join the police academy. Lose some weight, dude. Literally eat less. Get a job and slim down. Don't get a job on a farm where kids show up. They might violate your probation.
I've actually, with the Adderall, I lost weight. I lost about 20 pounds, and I've lost 40 pounds since January.
That's pretty good. It seems like in that respect you were heading in the right direction, but here you headed in the wrong direction. How are you going to get back on track here?
he says he wants to try now a month with this Adderall to see if it works. I just want to get shock therapy.
It's that bad.
I sat on the floor and I cried the other night to my mom. I said, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to get up. I don't want to get out of the bed.
What did she say to you?
She cries. She feels horrible for me.
And you live at home?
And I do take care of my grandfather.
Yeah.
He has Parkinson's.
How is he doing?
As best as he's gonna get. He's got.
You know, this is one thing that I have, experience with. I stopped working to help my father. And, it does take a toll on you, right? It is quite, the weight on your shoulders seeing someone you love, especially a parent or a grandparent, degrade very rapidly. And he mentioned Parkinson's, which, that's a horrible disease. But, you still went after a 12-year-old. You still woke up every day eager for a message from someone who you thought was a middle schooler, and you are out of high school. He's trying to pull everything bad in his life and put it on the table in front, hoping that they will take pity on him. It's a sad excuse.
Worse.
Listen, I can empathize with all of that, except this. I mean, it's pretty graphic, right? You know better, Vincent.
I'm an idiot.
I mean, you shouldn't be
Just
sending
another
pictures
thing
of
to
your
list.
genitals to
Right.
a 12-year-old girl, right?
I fucked up again. There's nothing else I can say, but I fucked up again.
Well, how else have you effed up?
Oh, school, my life, everything.
Do you have any hobbies?
Not really. I like driving and I like smoking cigars, but I can't do that for the rest of my life.
Why?
Because I need to get a job and I need to get structure in my life, and
And a 12-year-old wasn't gonna bring that to your life. Laying down some mediocre pipe isn't the answer to all your life's problems. He likes driving, which, hey, I admit, driving around is fun. I do that all the time. Hop in my truck, go for a drive, listen to music, that's awesome. Smoking cigars, I don't smoke, so, I don't really do that. And he's like, I can't do that anymore. It's like, one, those are emotions talking. You can very much get behind the wheel of a car. You can very much smoke cigars. Hell, you can smoke cigarettes. Right? Your probation did not deny you that ability. And it's like, those are your only hobbies? You're going to a NASCAR race. So, I mean, you got to be into racing. Do you not play, I don't know, video games, read a book, anything? His hobbies are things where you sit there and do nothing.
Where are you going to go from here? This is not a good day for you.
Jesus, Chris. It's an understatement and a half. You're going from a free man to a convicted felon on the RSO with, rather strict probation on TV. Not a good day for you might be a bit of an understatement. I might even describe this as a pretty shitty day.
what else is new? It's never a good day.
When did this start for you? When did it get off the tracks for you?
The depression?
Yeah.
It's like since I'm 12, 13, I think it started. I've been through 4 or 5 doctors. Millions of different pill combinations. That's why I wanted shock therapy.
And that shock therapy he mentions, he heard that from some nurse on the Whisper app. And it's like, okay, I don't know anything about medical stuff, especially less about, mental health. But it's like, you go to the Whisper app for it, some random app. It just doesn't seem... He wants someone else to solve his problem about it. He wants to sit there and do nothing while a bunch of doctors or nurses or therapists just make him better when he needs to make himself better. And he never did.
I posted on the Whisper app last week because I've been feeling like having the withdrawal and stuff. I said I just want to kill myself, and the nurse from I guess she's in England. She said that there's a shock therapy, and I looked it up, and I told my doctor about it, but he doesn't want to do it, and he wants to wait and see if the pills work. I'm tired of seeing if the pills work.
you did here is hard to excuse, Vincent. But I hope you get help with all your other stuff.
I just want to die. My life is miserable.
Yeah, he's right. His life is miserable. Showing up to who you thought was a 12-year-old just to meet Chris Hansen in that outfit and spill all of your life's dirty secrets on what you thought at the time would be like national TV, but ended up just being like the true crime network. And, people from your class 100% heard about this. Your parents gotta find out about this. Your uncles, your cousins, your aunts, everything. Everything. All these people are gonna find this out about you. And even if they don't watch it, they still know, what this entails, how you had to have acted. I don't get this guy. I don't get anyone on this fucking show. But I especially don't get Vincent. Just because how pathetic he is. And how he tries to force himself to be more pathetic.
Nobody wants you to die. All right, listen to me. Vincent, there's some people over there who are going to get you on the next step to get better, okay? Okay? I take no glee in any of this, by the way. I take no glee in any of this.
Sure.
I got 2 boys, So man to man, will you look at me for a minute? Will you promise to get some help? Please?
Again, you can see no tears. His face is a little red, but I think that's just because he's fat. Which, I'm fat too, and my face is red, bro. That's how we are. But, if you're going to be crying, your face would be red. Here would be red. There'd be tears. There's nothing. These were fake. The entire time. He just sat there and made the noises. And he tried to manipulate others. It's sad.
This too shall pass. But you gotta get help, okay? Do you promise me?
I wish I just had a heart attack, but I was overdosing on the Adderall.
Look at
And there he goes again. And instead of saying like, oh man, I fucked up, it's, he's got to throw in how you wish he OD'd. These types of, mindsets that some people have are just garbage mindsets. And they're the type of people that when you run into them and you interact with them, maybe you work with them, maybe they're your family, you catch on. And you see patterns like this all the time in other people's. And it's aggravating to deal with. And it's especially more aggravating to see someone try that regarding the situation he's in.
me. Look at me. Do you promise me you will get help?
Yes, I don't want to be like this
Okay.
anymore with this. I need this.
Okay, so can we make this a turning point for you?
Yes.
As dark as this looks right now. Okay. But there's no way to go but up from here. Now, go easy. Go easy. So you will get help. All right. Will you do me a favor? Will you leave the knife right here. Take your hat and glasses. And
Puts the hat back on. Imagine how self-conscious he might have been feeling right now about putting that hat on. It's just... he's from New York. I'm also from New York. And I wore a cowboy hat once on Halloween, and it felt out of place. We're in New York. The only thing you should be wearing here are like snapbacks and like Yankee hats. Maybe a beanie if you're up north. The cowboy hat is just so off.
and once you head right out this way, it's
Where's my coat? Is it even?
I'll get the
cloth?
I'll get the
Oh God.
The camera guy is coming out, just ambushing him.
Oh God.
This is, don't wear your pants this high up. And also, he tucked his shirt in, and he tucked it in tight. You can tuck your shirt in, especially a button up, where it's rather loose and flowy still. and it's a long sleeve, and it's tucked in. It creates a vacuum seal basically, and it's such a horrible fit. Oh god, this guy has no style. But the camera guys come out and ambush him. It's just the cherry on top. God damn.
Alright, get some help, alright?
Which way?
Go on this way.
Grabs his bottle.
The garage?
Straight through, yeah.
And also, that's just disrespectful there. I have never once thrown my jacket. That jacket I don't think has a zipper. It might. But, if it has a zipper or buttons, either way, I never throw my stuff like that on someone else's car. That's just a sign of disrespect. Okay? It's not going to, like, scratch the paint. But it's just, it might ding the clear coat. I got respect for other people's shit. And I know this is, like a county car. It's probably the police station's rides. But just, I don't know, the principle of it. And also, it looks like he's wearing a fucking diaper. Like, his legs are tight, but then his butt. It's so saggy there. Looks like he's wearing a diaper.
There, sir, please. Hands behind your back. What do you just shoot me? You got anything on you?
Just the knife.
Where's that?
In the kitchen.
Anything in your pockets? Anything stick on us?
Phone and stuff in there. That's it.
Okay. Nothing in your jacket.
Yes, where your lace from?
Open. Trust me, I understand.
Okay, alright. Okay.
Where's
No,
your knife? You got it?
It's in the kitchen on the island.
Got it right here. So, okay.
Look at that. Look at that fucking boot. How much do you think he struggled to get his, cankles through that opening? Because, like I said, I'm a bigger man. Putting boots on that are like this tall is difficult. How much you think he struggled? Instead of just putting on like sneakers.
Nothing else, right?
All for the fit.
Alright, sir, come have a seat here in this corner.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
And I'm going to end it just about here. But,
I'm Detective Vincent. My name's Beth.
yeah, Beth, this lady here, she's the one who interrogates him afterwards. She is great at her job. She got him to spill so many beans that he didn't need to spill. But that's it for the the interview with Hansen. Now let's move on to his chat log a little bit.
What do you want to be called, Vincent? What do people call you?
Alright, so here's Vincent's chat log. I'm just going to skim through, find a couple of the more heinous messages, maybe even some of the funny ones. But you can see they start messaging on September 4th, which is 2 days before my birthday. And thankfully, the decoy never responds on my birthday. So, we're good there. But it starts off, he messages first, as this always happens. That is, the guy always messages first. The decoy never messages first. The decoy posted a picture to some forum or some online chat. First day of school, fuck my life, obviously indicating that they are very young. And he responds with, hey. So, right off the bat, he knows that the person is young. And he asks, just a couple of chats later, how old they are. 12. Cool, can I see a pic? Obviously, ill intentions from the moment of his first message. And his ill intentions are clear and obvious throughout this whole chat. The decoy sends a pic. You are cute. And there's a picture of him. And he immediately asks for another picture. We can see we're only on screenshot 4 of this chat up at the top. And he immediately asks for another picture, and the decoy sends another picture. And again, he immediately asks for a naughty picture. He says, not full naked. Oh, well, that's okay then, Vinny. And the decoy says, I'm sorry, I can't. She makes a reason for why. And Vinny is immediately aggressive. You know, take it, delete it afterwards. You know, he obviously wants that. And the next picture that he sends, want to see me, is in regards to his wiener. I'm going to have to add a sensor to this because even with the sensor tetrad core put on it, you can still see more of it than I would like. And here's that absolute banger of a line. I'm not that big. I bet I could fit inside of you. What a crazy line. Like, it's just crazy. And the decoy's me like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. I thought you were going to send a regular picture. Oh, sorry. No. Yeah, oh, sorry. It's okay. I just wasn't expecting it. Shocked me. Never seen one before. You know, that does heavily imply something. And, you know, he doesn't even feel bad. He's like, oh, well, I guess now you have. And then immediately back to his horny mindset. And here we go. This is only the 11th screenshot, so only a couple, like a dozen or a couple dozen messages in. And he immediately starts asking, have you put anything inside of you? And the decoy responds with, huh, which is understandable. And he's already immediately, Jesus, he is going in on, you know, playing with herself. A lot of that for a while, so we're going to skip ahead. Oh, and here's another one. This is chat 22. He asked if the decoys had her period. Probably worried about, you know, getting her pregnant. And the decoy says it hasn't happened yet. And Vincent responds with, my cousin is 12 and she has had hers. That is very, very, very weird. It's not weird to like overhear that stuff in a conversation. Like, you know, he could have been at the house and, you know, it could have been brought up by like their aunt and uncle about like, oh, like while telling Vinny's parents like, oh, we had to, you know, buy pads or whatever. But to reference that in your chat with a 12-year-old, one, it's weird to like remember that. Like you can just kind of throw that in like the discard pile for memories. But he kept that on lock, and he's using it now as a reference point. So it's obviously gross. And here's the Hannah chat they were in. We don't know if Hannah was a real person or not, or if it was just Vincent. It was probably another catfish, because later on in the chat, Vincent complains that Hannah hasn't messaged him. So it was probably another catfish. But Vincent does ask the person on Hannah's end some adult questions. Big girl stuff we can see here. And then here is, you know, a absolutely bonkers statement. I want you to get a ruler and measure how long the slit is. Huh? Like, yeah, what? That is, that, of all the chats I've ever read, and I've read a lot of them, I haven't read all of them, but as far as I know, this is the only person that's ever asked the decoy for dimensions. For, you know, fucking, it's just crazy. Obviously, you know, like a male decoy might be asked like how long it is. That's kind of standard. But measure how long the slit is? That is a crazy question to ask. One, vile. I've used that word so much already. Vile. I want to see how small it is. I am not doing that. Why? 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 You won't take your fucking vagina variations, your fucking coochie calculations? Like, what? You won't give me those. It's just crazy. I want to know how small it is. I might not fit if it's too small. I wonder why. Vincent, obviously, you know, I've seen your wee-wee. Okay? You don't got to worry about being too big. But it's just, you know, it's disgusting that he has to think about asking that. He obviously knew this was wrong, and we'll see later on he even has like some self-reflection moments. I'm willing to bet some post-nut clarity. And here's that message. I missed Hannah. She hasn't messaged me all day. She barely messaged me. I hope she was real. That makes me think that, it was another catfish or someone from his class fucking with him. And I was hoping to marry her. It goes from she hasn't messaged me. I hope she is real. I want to marry her. That is quite the jump in, any metric. She hasn't, I haven't gotten a text back. I hope she's a real person. I want to marry her. Like, bro, it's fucking crazy. I don't get it. I don't get this fucking guy. And yeah, when I mentioned during the interrogate part with Chris that Vincent's friend did die, we can see here on the 60th screenshot that it's brought up my friend died. So obviously, it's sad. Someone lost their life. We don't know the person's name or anything. But Vincent's used that as an excuse to further justify what he's doing. And we see his friend died several days after he already started the chat. So, he was already doing what he was doing. And he just tried using that as an excuse. It's vile. Best to off himself. I heard everyone. He's relying on who he thinks is a 12-year-old as a crutch. Sad, pathetic. And here we go. So he got caught on a Saturday, and he was gonna be on a Sunday. He was going to a NASCAR race at Dover, Delaware, and he got caught up in Fairfield. So it's like, what, you spend the night and then you hustle out of there to go watch a NASCAR race? It's just crazy to me. It doesn't make sense to me that he would do that. That he would do the first thing. But then, like, I don't know. The NASCAR race just seems like such an odd aspect of his life. And he's asking for more pictures. And he wants to make himself to a bunch of pictures. Sorry, I'm really horny. And she says, she mentioned earlier that her phone's camera is messed up. Can you send me, but she has them saved. Can you send me all of them? Like, disgusting. Your lips look so soft. Kissing them softly. Vile. I bet they'd feel good. 6 years I've been done with college. He's not going to college. We all know that. He wants to see more pics of your skin. Phone is locking up. That was probably who's ever chatting, desperately trying to get pictures ready. Because she was like, I wasn't expecting to need all of these. So she probably had to like dig deep in like some folder for these. I don't want you doing it, then later regretting it and telling someone I get in trouble. Why would you get in trouble for this, Vincent? Why would you get in trouble for this? Is it possibly because it's a 12-year-old? And here we go. Here he's talking about how he has like stomach issues. Probably just because he's super nervous about this. But I'm not even gonna say this part. I'm just gonna zoom in on it. That is a disgusting statement. He obviously knows. He's well aware. And then down here, he says, I can't believe I just said that. What the fuck's wrong with me? I'm a perv. I don't know what he's doing 5 o'clock on a Friday, but we know it's not hanging out with people. We know it's not being active. And we know he's not at work. So he very well might be in his bedroom right now. So this is probably top 10 worst individual chats when it comes to stuff like this. Is at a school down the road. Want to meet there, then we can drive around. That is a very weird. I don't think he had like intent of kidnapping her, because he does mention earlier about how he's very nervous to show up at the house. I don't think this was intent to kidnap her or anything. I think this was just to not go directly to the house. You know, he mentioned how he doesn't have any friends. Birthday dinner for me at the Red Line Diner. Look at all these people that showed up, dude. For just a random, diner. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and himself. There's probably more people over here. Like, 7 people, and they all look kind of young, too. 7 people all showed up to your birthday dinner, bro. Like, dinner. And they all look to be your age, man. You got friends, bro. You just didn't recognize it. And the sheer irony in this, the sheer irony.